find out in a minute. This here's the old one, which was operated by winches and dates back to 1832.
Show the winches.
Yeah.
After all that, there's only swing.
Swing! Now.
I know you meant little zig, but that coffee was...
Well. Our permanent building is 40 clicks per hour. This is downtown traffic at 5 clicks per hour.
Take a picture of the police cars.
That's the best spot.
What?
It's not the best spot.
Take it up. Take it off. Toodle.
She's not here. We have a governor general to take her place. He's the head of state. He acts as head of state, and that's our governor. So there you go. Of course, the prime minister is the actual head of government, along with the head of state. So St. George, the plain between them for civilized visitors. And the Laura series of sculptures is the History of Canada series, and that's well, starting with 1608, the founding of Quebec City, St. George to explore, and it goes from Canadian history up to Confederation, which took place in 1867. So incidentally, this is our 125th anniversary. So, thank you to the House of Commons now. Through here. I guess it doesn't include Asia. Australasia. No, because of reference.
Oh, there.
that's the political party which has the most seats. And on the right, you've got the parties of opposition. There's two parties at the moment which are official opposition. There's the Liberals and the New Democrats. And so you've got the seats of their leaders are denotated with Canadian flags. So on the left-hand side, you've got the PM, right, with that little Canadian flag down on that seat. And opposite, you've got Jean Chrétien, the leader of the opposition. That's where he sits. And then closer to us, on the right-hand side, there's another flag, and that's where Audrey McLaughlin sits. She's the leader of the New Democratic Party. She's also the first woman to be elected as leader of a national party. So, there you go. It's also Women in History Month, incidentally. That's why we have these busts at the either end of the room here. The one down there is Agnes MacPhail, the first woman to be elected as a member of Parliament. And down at the other end is Eloise Ferguson, I think, or something. I forget what her name is, but anyway, she was the first minister. It's really matter. Interesting to go look. Down at the end, you've got a big chair. That's where the speaker sits. Speaker's the ref. He or she sort of bosses people around, keeps the peace, tells them what to do, says who can talk, and if anybody breaks the rules, disciplines them. In front of the speaker's chair, you have a table. That's where the clerk sits. The clerk's job is to advise the speaker on the rules, on the standing orders as they're called. And then closer to us here is the Sergeant-at-Arms chair. The Sergeant-at-Arms sits in that little table right there. And Sergeant-at-Arms carries the mace. You saw the mace a couple minutes ago out in the lobby. There's that big sort of gold club there. That wasn't the real one, that was plastic. The real one is kept in a closet, actually, somewhere. And they carry it in and put it on the table, and it represents the Speaker's authority in the House. So you can't touch his mace. And then up top, you've got the public galleries. The public is welcome anytime. Come in here. Half price on Tuesdays. There's a popcorn machine to the left. And so people can come in quite often. No problem. There's a press gallery. There's also television cameras, you can see. Canada was the first country in the world to introduce television into Parliament. It's worth noting. And some of them regret it, so they're talking about taking it out, but I don't think that'll ever happen. What else is there? There's also those little desks in the middle. There's 4 of them. Those are the Hansard reporter desks. Hansard reporters, it's their job to write down everything that's said in the House. They don't actually write that fast. They just write down everybody who speaks, and then it's all recorded. So Hansard is produced. Hansard is a publication. Everything that was said in the House of Commons, officially that is, the day before, and named after a fellow by the name of Hansard, strangely enough, who invented the idea. So that's the House. What do you think? Any questions? BNA Act is Canada's constitution. It was signed in 1867 in London, England. This is the original copy. It created Canada as a sovereign federal state. Before that, it was a series of colonies across North America. So the original 4 provinces were Quebec and Ontario. Incidentally, we're in Ontario right now. New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. And then others have joined as time went by. So now we're up to 10. The most recent arrival was Newfoundland in 1940, which is actually quite recent. Anyway, that's the Constitution. It's the basis of our legal system. It's paramount over every law. And if any law if the courts feel that a law is in contradiction with the Constitution, they'll knock it down. They'll veto the law. So that's how it works. There you go. Now, the gentleman, please move their hands. Okay, we all in? Just shove. Just be really rude. You'll get in. Okay, there we go. We're all in. This is the Senate. It's red. That's because it's royal. On the left, again, you have the government. On the right, the opposition. And you notice the red blotters. I can't tell you what a pain it is to buy red blotters. They're very hard to find. Just shows you how much we're in. Down at the end, we have 2 thrones at the back there. That's where the head of state and his or her spouse sits. Queen or the Governor General. And then in front there's another chair, that's where the Speaker sits. It's not quite as dramatic a chair as in the House of Commons, but nonetheless. And then again the clerk's table, and then 2 desks for the Hansford reporters, and the Sergeant at Arms right here. Now in a royal assent ceremony, this is when the House of Commons and the Senate have passed legislation. What happens then is there's a royal assent. They call in the head of state, who comes in, sits down in the throne. And all the MPs file in to where you're standing right now. Pretend you're all MPs, and you sort of hang out. It's actually called summoning the commoners, it's called. So all the MPs are the commoners, and the royalty comes in and seats themselves royally, and the clerk says, Your Excellency, do you accept this or that legislation? And they don't actually say anything. They just nod. They just go, and then you have a law. So, the paintings are First World War, all of them. Canadian soldiers in battle, in action in France. For example, we have Vimy Ridge right there, the big one. You all know Vimy Ridge, it's the Canadians one. They say that's when Canada became a nation. See, what happened is the British tended to send in the Canadian soldiers first, because it was kind of a tough ridge to take, and it was kind of a miracle, but they managed to take it, and everybody was very happy. That was the end of it. The ceiling is gold leaf, and you've got the coats of arms of the founding nations of Canada emblazoned on it. You've got France, England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. So, and then some maple leaves to remember. I mean, we're talking about Canada here, so there you go. And then you've got public galleries at the end and right above us. And that is the Senate. Now, anybody have any questions?
represent the towers that are around Parliament. That's the art gallery.
Oh, what's the church, or is that a church?
That's the one you saw on the slide last night. The, you don't call it the cathedral, but what do they call it? Chamber.
Yeah, they're over there.
Let's go.